So I hear you guys like disaster saves. Well, you're gonna love this one. So we have France, or rather what remains of France, on Iron Man with historical focuses, and things have not necessarily developed to France's benefit. Now it is 1941, so he's lasted this long. Yeah, it looks like the war in Africa has been won, but the war in France has, not. Alright, let's see if we can fix this.
Back in my day, we didn't have your fancy all-digital weapons, but we still managed to kill each other just fine.
Okay, so it looks like he has an army of sorts. He's low on manpower, he's probably low on factories. Okay, how did this even happen? I'm gonna quickly go check. He sent me a little description when he sent this in. I want to see what happened. I forgot what exactly it was he said. So playing as France, tried to go as historical as possible. Things were going good and I was holding. I doubt that. And at one point, Germany broke in from behind and flooded the back of my lines. I moved troops to the north of France and now I'm stuck here. From that description, either the Italians broke through the Alps with German help, or naval invasion happened somehow? Because the Maginot was intact and I can't see if they went through the Low Countries. If they did, you usually lose territory as well here. In any case, things are not great. So let's look at the political situation. That's all fine. You're working on Battle of Maneuver. Let's not. Gonna cancel that. Let's instead fix your economy, because you still have the inefficient economy. You could do with some promoted entrepreneurship and stimulating the dynamic market. So we're gonna do these first. Next up, military. Ooh, you're scraping the barrel. No, okay, let me lay it down for you. You are currently low on manpower, that's true. And you are mobilizing manpower. However, currently, you're only using 3.66%, which would be the equivalent of going from limited to extensive. You've not actually used up all the manpower you would get from getting extensive conscription. You would still have another 1.33% of your population to go. Whether or not that's enough, I can't tell you. Maybe not. Even so, you could have then just gone to service by requirement, which in itself kind of sucks. So what you've done instead is go straight for scraping the barrel. Not only does that cost you significantly more political power, because if you do this in tiers, you unlock them for 150 each. If you jump ahead, you're paying the full cost of the previous tier as well. Plus, you don't instantly get the extra manpower. It has to slowly mobilize up in increments per day, and your economy suffers for it. You can see the penalties inflicted on your economy for going to scraping the barrel. Right now, what you should have done is go from limited conscription, where I think you were at, to extensive conscription, and then when it turns out that was not enough, then go to service by requirement. Instead, what I think you did is go from limited conscription all the way to scraping the barrel, which is stupid and pointless. So one of our first priorities will be to demobilize a portion of our population. As long as we don't lose more land, we should have enough. All right, export focus, take it or leave it, not that important. War economy, good. Then we got the democratic reformer. I don't know if he's any good, but France is politically unstable, so it might be useful. Technocrat could also have been useful. All right, this guy's fine, this guy's fine. Okay, so your advisors are fine. I would have gotten a military theorist by now. He's relatively cheap, and you're just gonna need him. Maurice Gamelin is good for your army. Okay, I respect that. Army maneuver would also be okay, but Maurice Gamelin is just really good. Chief of the Navy, irrelevant right now. Air, fine. Military High Command. So what you should have hired is Jean de Lattre de Tassigny, just to give your infantry a flat boost. So I'm going to do that now. You've got Charles Hunziger. Army Logistics, it's not bad, but it's not as impactful as it looks. I would usually not hire this guy. Instead, pick something else like Commando Expert if I'm using Mountaineers, or maybe the Air Superiority Expert for mission efficiency. Overall, though, this is fine. So more political power to be saved up, so we can go down to all adult serve and then service by requirement and actually get a functional economy. Next up, the Air Force, such as it is, might as well not exist. I'm going to ground our Air Force. This is pointless. Navy, you're using your surface fleet, your big-ass battleships and carriers to do patrolling. This is extremely fuel-intensive while not giving you much benefit. What the main fleet should do Well, first of all, I'm going to consolidate everything into one big old battle fleet and put it on hold. I'm just going to use it as a strike force, okay? Then let's turn off automatic reinforcement. There we go. So this is your main fleet. It should have your capital ships and enough screening vessels, so destroyers and light cruisers, to, let's see, 4 light ships for every heavy ship. This should be all right. All these things should be doing is sitting here on strike force in sea zones. What that means is they're sitting in port, ready to go. The only ships you want out patrolling are light cruisers or destroyers, but not these ones. What you want is light ships specifically designed to be fast and to have good sight. So what you want, for instance, is a light cruiser with the best engine you have. No guns except for the cheapest, absolute cheapest light gun you can fit. No anti-air, no nothing, no anything, no armor, no rangefinder. You then add radar. You add the best sonar you have, the best radar you have, and then you add as many aircraft float plane catapults as you can. Now, you didn't do this and you don't have to. It's just a little tip I'm going to give you now. This will be your spotting cruiser. These operate either solo or in groups of 2 or 3, and they are set to the patrol mission. They will go around looking for the enemy in small groups or individually. As a result, because they're very specialized, they're really good at finding enemy fleets. They're fast enough to not get caught and actually get away if the enemy fleet turns out to be really angry at them. And they're cheap enough that you can make several of these to cover a lot of ground. And at the same time, your big navy gets to sit in port, not spend any fuel, and just be ready when your spotters find the fleet they can handle. The big fleet rushes out and tries to engage them. That is how you want to play the naval game. But don't have your big ships out there patrolling on their own. It's really not good. And then we have many submarines. I usually use them in wolf packs of 10 and then just have them like raid in places that are not shallow seas. So this is an ocean, the Bay of Biscay. You have deep oceans in the North Atlantic, but keep submarines out of places like the English Channel. They have what's called shallow sea modifier. It makes them incredibly easy to spot for the enemy, and that negates the biggest strength of the submarine. Also, do not ever put submarines in your main surface fleet. Subs are really slow, and a fleet can only move as fast as its slowest ship, so it slows the fleet down. Okay, we're gonna have to draw these front lines again. What I'm thinking we do is hold what we have, obviously, and try to counterattack here so we can sit on that river line a little more comfortably. I need to fully redraw this front. That gives us 3 units, a full field marshal of 24, like so. You can sit over there, and a field marshal over here. 24 units. Could be better, could be worse, I suppose. These are British divisions. They're going to turn them back over to British control. I have no use for them. Let's see how we do this. So we'll try to split the front into something that will allow us to stack a lot of units on not a lot of tiles. So make it difficult for the Germans to get through. Something like this. Then make sure we can redirect some forces over here because there's the massive gap here near Rennes. What I want to do is counterattack with like these 3, and at the same time railroad all 6 of those units into Rennes and Nantes to hopefully shore up the defenses. But I have more things to do. Let's look at the logistics. So we're out of guns, out of artillery, out of anti-air, out of everything pretty much. Not good. I'm not going to use interwar medium flame tanks. Sorry. I don't need that much artillery. So let's redraw our priorities like so. So we'll at least have a factory on everything and then ramp up production of the most vital needs first, like support equipment, like AA and guns. Everything else is secondary. So you're buying 168 oil while your stockpile is full. Yeah, I'm going to stop buying that. That means we have more factories. Good. And I want to use those factories to build more factories. Prioritize the factories. Honestly, I don't want forts. They're not going to be completed in time. Maybe the one in Picardy, it's almost done. And they won't offer the amount of benefit you think they might. Build in Algeria as well. This is core territory after all. So more mills to be able to make more equipment. With more equipment, we may be able to turn this around. I'm going to need to trade for aluminum with, well, anyone really. For the actual army, what are you using? Division d'Holding. I like your Frenchification. This is desperate. This is exceptionally desperate. 15 width. not terrible, but you've seen the deficit we're in, so this artillery is not going to cut it. Can I afford to switch to these guys? Let's see. So I don't have the manpower to do this, nor do I have the infantry equipment to do this. Okay, so we'll have to make smaller changes. What I am going to do is take your Division Dulding, remove the flame tanks. I'm going to remove the artillery. I'm going to add 1 infantry to them. Oh, 14 with infantry. Oh, this is garbage. Mon Dieu, c'est garbage. 16 with infantry. Might as well just go for Division d'Infanterie. Add support anti-air to these. Save that. And then we'll selectively start converting units. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take these 6 units here, for instance. I'll convert them to Division d'Infanterie. Yes, I don't have enough equipment for all of them. So I have 6 really low strength infantry divisions. But what if I consolidate them? That would give me 1 almost full strength infantry division and a lot of leftover equipment. That's better. I'm thinking of doing this all along the front. So converting them to infantry divisions and then selectively consolidating them into full strength units. I'm going to go all along the front, consolidate units, convert and consolidate until we have about a field marshal worth of these units. And I should have either equipment left over or a deficit that's not nearly this massive. Doctrines. Fleet doctrine doesn't really matter, I guess. Air doctrine is almost filled out. Special forces we can take later. And then land doctrine, we've gone grand battle plan. I'm not going to change it out now. It's late, but this is fine, I guess. Yeah, it's probably fine. Left or right? Good question. Let me know down in the comments because I just automatically dismiss it. Yes, I know. It's mathematically best. It's mathematically best if you do battle planning. Grand battle plan will always be best because of the blah 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 blah. I know. I just don't like it, okay? I just always go superior firepower or mobile warfare. I don't even look at grand battle plan anymore. Look at your officer corps. Bold attack, good. Theater training is also really good, but bold attack is fine. Relief of command, very powerful. Tip of the spear is also very good. Both are better than professional officer corps, which I would take if you're not a democratic nation. And then you've gone flexible organization, which is good. Speed's very nice. I'll leave that for now. Let's go and get ourselves a spy agency. I don't know if you've simply chosen not to or if you did not have No Step Back. No, that's not No Step Back. That's La Résistance. But I'm gonna use it. So our first goal is consolidate defenses and then see if we can slowly creep towards the river line in the south and make sure we don't lose Paris to the north. From there, we'll try to either push south to regain some of our land or push east to link up with the Maginot and split the front in half. Okay, I'm gonna do the reorganization off screen. I'll be back in a minute. All right, after some reorganization, I think this still needs to update because these numbers haven't really changed all that much, but the majority of our army has been converted to the new template. A lot of them have been consolidated. I might need to consolidate a few more, so I'll take the weakest ones and let's merge them. Okay, so my army has somewhat shrunk significantly in size. We're gonna slow the game way down. Navy's going back to port. Air Force is grounded. Let us take up defensive positions and see what we can do. All right, we have decisions. None of these are relevant. None of these are relevant. None of these are particularly relevant. We do have manpower again, so you can see what happened after all those consolidations. We have reduced the army's size, but we have not reduced the army's combat effectiveness. So we're still doing well. You know what? I'll buy some towed anti-air from Britain, and maybe I can buy some guns from someone else. Ooh, Soviet guns. 1,000 guns. That's not enough. Sweden is selling like 11,000 guns. Sure, I'll take it. So there's a hole in the enemy defense here. They've repositioned forces. I don't know why, but I love that they did it. And as a result, this unit here is vulnerable. I'm going to go straight in, try to push it out, set ourselves up on the river. Same for these two guys. Other positions on the front are more or less secure. Some of these may need more consolidation, but for the most part, I feel like we're good up here. With the army fully converted and the equipment stockpiles updating after that last round of consolidations, we're actually positive on most of our equipment. Actually, everything that's not an airplane, we're positive on. So I'm going to remove the Division Dulding and I'm going to start training infantry divisions again. Just so we have units to fill the ranks and make our front line solid. Make occasional targeted counterattacks in certain places to see if we can dislodge the enemy from 1 or 2 tiles. Like here, I can bring a lot of force to bear on like units that are weakened because they are stuck in combat combat, with a little bit of luck, I can retake a tile without extending my front line. I'm going to be constantly doing this, looking for opportunities where I can counterattack, take back land, solidify. Yeah, Germany isn't as tough as you may have thought here. I'm starting to think that maybe you kind of gave up and kind of panicked because your army's certainly good enough to go against the Germans. Your initial division design was pretty bad, but with a little bit of tweaking, we do have the strength to make something happen here. Bring as much firepower to bear on this position as we can. The more river tiles we can take, the better. River tiles are so much easier to defend. This was overly ambitious. We're going to have to give that up. I am also going to see if I can create some sort of shock unit. A unit that can go places. A shock troop unit on a budget. So this is 30 width, a lot of soft attack, and it's reasonably fast. It's also reasonably expensive, but it's way cheaper than tanks considering we haven't actually researched or are producing any. This could work. I'll also be naming these divisions after channel members, but the mod doesn't work on a game you load, only on a new game you start. So this is a call to Hoi 4 modders out there. If you know how to set things up like naming mods or a button I can press to automatically rename divisions in a game, please hit me up. My contact email is down below the video. I need help. I don't want to constantly do this manually. Oh, I just realized I hadn't checked your research yet. Most of this it's all right, but you've gone very much ahead of time. Very much ahead of time. I would have, instead of like going ahead on artillery, catch up on AA. Same with the infantry equipment. Instead of just going this far ahead of time, maybe make sure your industry's actually up to date, because you know you're gonna need guns. Maybe work on your air stuff. Get heavy machine guns. They're really vital for your fighters. Or even if you have a navy, get stuff like sonar so you can find those German submarines. Maybe work on tanks. But I might as well just finish up what you're researching now. I guess I'm gonna move away from infantry anti-tank. It's not as important as you think in single player. The rest of this stuff, like, this is 250 days. This is not worth it. I'm just gonna get the AA. And this is almost done. But again, is it worth it? Honestly, I'd rather get more output from my industry and then we'll catch up later. So looking at the casualty numbers, I'd say you've given a good account of yourself. 2.7 million Germans, and you've lost 640,000 Frenchmen. Not too bad, honestly. Not too bad. And slowly we will inch our way forward. Live footage of France rejecting fascist rule. Sweet! I could potentially meme it up here and get to Orléans. Oh yes, big memes, go, 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 go. I can take that supply hub with a little luck, a lot of luck, a little lot of luck, a lot of little luck. No, the enemy got there first, damn it. Still, overall, I'd say we're the winners. The only thing I'm sort of have to worry about is their tanks, but even their tanks are pretty weak after a lot of time spent fighting, and the German industry cannot really... Oh, well, that's good. You've seen the game plan. You see how it plays out. Little by little, we are going to be advancing. And our first spies are popping up. Just dump them somewhere in Germany. The UK wants to send me 10 divisions as expeditionary forces. All right, I'll take it. Yeah, I don't want those. They're they're way too far away for me to do anything with them. Park them over there and see what we can do. But most of these are... Oh my... No, I don't want your shitty units, UK. You deal with them. Border's already looking a lot prettier. Solid front line, and we're starting to push out, taking land back. Victory is inevitable. I know how Gilliman feels. All of the units are really low on orc because I keep hitting them right after they've hit me. So before they've been able to recover. So I'm using the tactical counterattack, and it is, oh god, Orléans or Orleans. Oh, yeah, so attack and counterattack, and it's working wonderfully for me. And 150 political power. We're now going down to all adult serve, and from there to service by requirement. One more tile and Paris will no longer be under threat. I think you kind of panicked when you saw things were going the way they were. I don't blame you for it. It's just that sometimes you just need to take a deep breath, pause the game, and take a look around. What are my options? And in this case, make sure your army is actually combat effective for one. Paris no longer under threat. Beautiful. I'm still able to advance forward little by little. Just look at the strength bars for most of the enemy units, like they're shot to pieces. So Germany in 41 has taken a massive beating from your initial campaign, I'm guessing. So what I'm up against is honestly not that tough. tough. Yeah, if they hadn't backdoored you in a moment of inattention, you would have definitely won this fairly easily. What's Denmark doing? Oh, Denmark's rebelling. Sweet. It even looks like we might be able to force some kind of breakthrough here. Let's see if I can deploy a couple of extra units to fill out the ranks. We're pressing forward. Just constantly pressing forward. I am at risk of overextension, so I should probably wait until these extra divisions are done, which is going to take a while. I am a little short in equipment. Maybe the British have some saved up now. Oh, golly. Britain's actually willing to help me for once. 57 rifles. Thanks, Britain. Now that everything on the ground and navy is pretty much secure, I decided to actually take a look at what you're building in terms of airplanes, and well, it's not great. What you want is something you haven't researched yet. I'll do that now. You want heavy machine guns. Heavy machine guns are so good on your fighters. You definitely want that, but also you want the best airframe and the best engines you can fit. So I'll take the biggest engine you have, a single fighter, a single seater, and then we'll add double cannon ones along with the best light machine guns you currently have. Now, ideally, you want this whole thing to just be heavy machine guns and only take cannons if you can unlock double cannon 2s, which is very far in the future. See, I like drop tanks for a little extra range, and I do like self-sealing fuel tanks as well as armor, but why not? I'm gonna add armor plate to this as well. So I like this for a fighter. I don't know how many of those we're gonna be able to build, and as far as your close air support goes, just the biggest engine you can fit. Dive brakes, yeah, kind of stuff's all right. Oh, you also want range on these things, so either extra fuel tanks or drop tanks would be nice. I did get pushed back in the south. Like I said, I am overextending, so best to contract the lines a little bit. I'm having some trouble with unable to find valid path to target. I'm guessing they're trying to get here, which they can't. I should just split these off into their own separate little army, because it is confusing the Frontline system. Yeah, I'll just give them their own little general. René Orly, you can hold that. Gotta say, like, this whole step-by-step approach is really paying off. Oh, the US wants military access. Absolutely. Welcome aboard, Mr. Roosevelt. Denmark has just joined the African Union. Why? Why not just join the Allies, you idiot? Yes! Okay, we've separated the front. Now to make sure everybody stays where they are. You guys all to the main front. You guys all to the southern front. Southern front, southern front, southern front. Yeah, I just hope people don't do stupid things now. Just need to reposition a little bit. Make sure the front's fully covered. Now we have nice clean separation between a south and north. We'll make it our priority to 1, reach the Maginot. That would be a very, very good thing to fully take that back. And 2, we'll push south. As soon as we have more shock troops available, we can actually start making work of that. Oh, thank God for that. Very good. Very happy. Very pleased so far. Honestly, I'm not sure I'll need those shock troops. This seems to be working out just fine with my regular units. And another 150 political power, plenty of manpower left. Let's go down to service by requirement. That'll do. We're still mobilizing more men, but the economy is at least somewhat functional now. All right, US is in the Allies. Wunderbar. See if I can bully the Germans some more. The occasional assault here, and we're gonna try and get some cheeky encirclements in. Many things are happening, but we are going. All right, first little encirclement in. Good, let's kill them. And more German troops are going to be encircled every time we do one of those. I'll keep finding positions that I can do funky business, and we'll keep killing Germans until we've made it all the way to the Maginot. Now, this is going shockingly well, and we've liberated the majority of Belgium. Pretty much all of Belgium, I think. Yep. Good. I would like to actually reach the Maginot Line eventually. That would be wonderful. Get those troops out. Hey, we have retaken the Maginot Line. We have reintegrated their territory. Oh, thank fuck for that. Okay, good. Now let's just mop up there and get this over with. Oh, this is perfect. This is Perfect. German casualties up to 5 million. We've done 4.4 million casualties to them. Honestly, I'm gonna take these trucks. I'm gonna deploy them. 7 divisions. Congratulations, de Gaulle. And I will name these after our glorious channel members. These are the people who support the channel. And in recognition, I try to name as many divisions after you as I can. Thank you, Heb. Thank you, Espanol Gato. Thank you, Sol. Thank you, Sniper Jean 22. Thank you, Mertadnan. Thank you, Blitzkrieger. And thank you, Action Film Therapy. They are a little green currently, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue, considering just how poor the enemy position is. We'll put them somewhere over there, and we'll try to ram them south. Like, the enemy front line is really thin. I'm gonna let them get some org, and then I'm gonna start a general frontline offensive, combined with that motorized thrust, to just try and overwhelm the enemy. And my motorized force is doing it. Casualties aplenty for the Germans, and just Axis in general. Breakthrough achieved. Yeah, we're through. Let's just head down for southern France and then into Italy. I will just stay in a holding pattern in the north. I first want to liberate as much of the south as possible. Suddenly, I have access to industry. We're getting all of our factories back, baby. This is where you blast La Marseillaise. Just full volume. France is back, baby! Leave a holding force against the Alpine line. Maybe I'll try to retake Marseille, Toulon, and Nice. We'll see. And then we'll start an attack into Germany proper. Italy is Italy. It's mostly irrelevant. Good counterattack. Very pleased with the results here. Another nice pocket here. A number of German divisions about to be destroyed here. Wunderbar. They're already down. Oh, I've killed 4.7 million Germans, and we haven't even done things properly yet. Italy itself is pretty wide open. I think they're committed to the Balkans, and that is going to be their undoing, as I can drive around their home army. Through the noble art of driving trucks really quickly, I've bypassed the Italian lines, meaning, with a little luck, I can just drive into Italy proper. I'm gonna go down to extensive conscription and demobilize part of my population. I can afford it. We have cut off the Netherlands, the German army in the Netherlands, and I will reposition, make sure that we push in and push in hard. Crush whatever they have there, don't allow them to withdraw. Goodbye, German army. That's a nice blow to the Germans. And our allies have just started pushing into Germany proper. They're being invaded by the Soviets pretty much all along their coastline. You know what? I'm gonna just assign the majority of my forces to the north, and we'll just have a single army in the south, just some token units on the border with Italy. We're gonna make it our priority to just knock out Germany, and then we can still swing around, take out Italy afterwards. And so once again, France stands as a bastion against the fascists. Yeah, I'm not really microing much anymore at this point, mostly because we've sort of won. I'm gonna be so upset if the Soviets take Berlin now. The Soviets haven't done anything. This was all me. The race for Berlin is on. Come on. Can we take Berlin before the Soviets do? We have to be fast. Come on. Yes! French forces have taken Berlin. Ha ha! Suck on that, Stalin! The French tricolor cannot be seen over the Reichschancellery. Ah! Just the way God intended. There goes Deutschland. Deutschland, Deutschland, Deutschland. Big old front line over here-ish. Straight down there. I'll leave my allies to deal with that. One army over here-ish. Like so. And the motorized, I'll move over here-ish to push into Italy. Quick redeployment. More members for the army. Welcome, Tony Dimu. Welcome, Furkan Hakan Yildiz. And finally, last but not least, Cullen the Hound. Just straight up carving through Italy. I'd say the Italians have somewhat quite possibly lost. That's it! Victory! Let's get a nice peace deal and call this a win. As far as peace deals go, this could be worse, so we just have regular old French Italy liberated Austria because it's pretty. Then we have actually pretty decent borders, I guess. Czechoslovakia is firmly democratic. Hungary got caught in two between a Soviet Hungary and a Hungarian Federal Republic. Because why not? Why not? So we have a Soviet Bulgaria, Soviet Romania. Macedonia was carved off from Yugoslavia because of course it was. Zog's back in Albania. I do quite like this British occupation zone and Soviet occupation zone. I like this. I wish the AI would take the cores, etc. more into account, because now it just script this peace deal if it's at all possible to get the historical outcomes if you're not just annexing everything. But for the most part, pretty pleased with that. Pretty pleased. Still have a Japan to fight. Fortunately, I did manage to steal a couple of navies here to make that happen. If I really wanted to, I can now sail my boats over to the Sea of Japan, park my army in Vladivostok after asking the Soviets. Well, I have military access. I can sail my ships over there and then naval invade Japan. I don't think we're gonna do that. I don't think there's any point to it. The disaster at this point is saved. We have a massive army. We still have a lot of population to work with. We can make this country even better than it already is. There we go. Now it's even better. And I'd say, yeah, not a bad place to start from, but don't panic if you find your plans aren't going as you expected. Just take a breath and adjust. Gotta be flexible. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this disaster. If you have your own to send in, use the link in the description below. And if you guys want to watch the next video as well. See ya.